Do you think we're moving closer towards some kind of revolution?
I don't think we are now. I think that we're seeing the West fall and crumble.
Western civilization, the empire comes to an end.
It's all on the way out. Societies are circular. They rise and they fall. We're seeing now what we saw in the fall of Rome. And we haven't learned this lesson. We never learn the lessons from history.
I'm sure you pay your taxes.
Too much. Oh.
Yeah.
There isn't enough money to go around.
Well, no. I mean, look at the national debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unsustainable. I was talking to Nigel was on just a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
And we were talking about that, and yeah, we're in some crazy vortex debt spiral at the moment.
Yeah. Well, the whole fiat system's collapsing, so
Yeah.
they're scrambling for an alternative. And we're going to end up with these central bank digital currencies, aren't we? That pretty much put us in a Chinese communist system of social credit.
To me, that is Orwellian at best.
Yeah.
That is scary.
We live in Orwellian times.
Yeah.
Like 1984 is becoming real life.
Yeah. We absolutely can't let that happen. I mean...
So are you a freedom fighter?
I love Rage Against the Machine. I don't like to label myself. If I'm going to label myself, I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Or a creator.
Right.
I would say more and more I am becoming that, because as things get more wrong and worse, if you don't stand up and speak out, it gets more wrong and worse. Mm-hmm. And I think the one thing I have to be cognizant of is you can't fight every battle. And so you have to pick what's important to you. And, you know, there's lots of things that are important to me. I've got children and gender identity is important. But my wife can, so for me, what's my area of specialism? Probably money.
Right.
I've written a lot of books on that. So yeah, if I can help people become financially independent and as less under control by the banks, the central banks, the fiat currency, the better.
Okay.
I think you probably would honestly see me in London doing this if they tried to lock us down again. I didn't go the first time, but I was probably close. I knew a lot of my friends did go. And this notion of faith. So as an entrepreneur, let's say I've made something of my life. I've done all right. I haven't done that through faith, I've done that through hustle. And work and graft and commitment and sacrifice and failure. And so I have this sort of paradox where I can understand why faith is important, because when you question things, you have a North Star.
Yeah.
But blind faith maybe doesn't make a successful, productive human. And I know that's subjective, not objective.
Yeah. What does it mean to be successful or
exactly
productive?
Exactly. So, what's your thought on the juxtaposition of blind faith versus going and making things happen for your life?
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think you can make things happen for your life, for your family, and for the good of the community, and for the greater good for the glory of God. It's all about the purpose. So again, why are you doing these things? That matters. You know, I've been an entrepreneur. I've made money. I've lost money. I've made money. It's very similar to me in the way that people like social media. It's that hit, that dopamine. It's very short term and it's very superficial. And I personally didn't find contentment in it. I didn't feel fulfilled when I was an entrepreneur. I had fun, I enjoyed it, but that's very different to being fulfilled and content. And I think faith provides that contentedness. Faith provides that fulfilledness. And it's a different level, it's a different depth, because it's not that surface level bubble that has to be constantly chased, like social media, like getting your likes, your retweets, or your followers, or like getting the latest.
But isn't that human progress, which is the continual struggle towards more, better?
No, that's if anything, that's devolution, not evolution. It's going down to as a machine level. We're higher beings than that. We're better than that.
Right. So you think sometimes our pursuit of more, which seems to be what we chase, isn't evolution, it's de-evolution.
Yeah, it's an empty pursuit. This is why
But what if it's for something very meaningful?
Like what?
Well, like the saving the planet, getting on the moon.
It's not our duty to save the planet.
So
I think that's quite narcissistic of us.
Well, I agree with that. In that, what I agree with is I think humans are arrogant in that they think they know better than nature.
Yeah.
And they manipulate in nature, thinking that they're making the world better, when in fact they're getting in the way of nature.
Right.
For example, the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
I don't take any pills because I'm pretty sure that my body was built to be able to handle things.
Right.
And if I have a headache, it's my body saying, you didn't sleep enough, or you drank too much coffee. And if I don't get the headache, I don't get the feedback.
Yeah.
And so all the pills, sorry to go on a tangent, but I need to do this. The biggest company in Europe now is a drugs company pushing weight loss drugs.
Yeah.
And Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister of our country, championed the greatness of this weight loss drug. To me, that is everything that is arrogant and wrong with humanity.
Yeah.
Because why can't we just teach people to go for walks and eat well?
Eat less, exercise more. It's very simple.
There you go.
That's all you need.
Have a meaningful mission.
Yeah.
Have a purpose in life.
So
and so we're ridiculously arrogant.
Yeah, we are. But I would articulate that differently. So there's two parts to that. You said about the world and about pharmaceuticals. About the world, we make gods of ourselves. We are idolaters, right? We think that we are the gods of this world, and we have to save this world, we have to make this world better. Actually, the world is here for us. The Bible teaches that the world is a resource for us to use, just like all animals are here for us. This is why vegans are ridiculous, because animals are there for us to eat, and plants are there for us to eat, and they're all there for the good of humankind. So
is veganism a sin then?
No, it's not a sin, it's just ridiculous.
Right.
Absolutely ridiculous. It's very extremist as well, isn't it? I mean, I can kind of understand people who want to be vegetarians. I think they're misguided. But people who want to be vegan is just taking it to the absolute extreme.
How did we get to this point in society then?
Well, because we are constantly seeing ourselves as gods. And the pharmaceutical industry is a great example. And again, that's for people that love money. And I mean literally love money. Moderna, Pfizer, these companies have made billions and billions of pounds over the last 3 years because of the whole scam, right? If you live in a world where in an emergency governments get more power and pharmaceutical companies earn more money, we're going to constantly be in situations of emergency, constantly. And this is what we're seeing because governments always want more power, big business always wants more money. So we have to, as individuals, readdress the situation and say, well, governments aren't there to rule us, they're there to represent us. And big business isn't good for mankind. Business is good, big business isn't good because they become too powerful and they become essentially governments. Both of those need to be held to account somehow, and we've lost all sense of that. I think capitalism is the least worst situation to live in. However,
it's not great.
It's not good.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it, because I don't think communism or socialism is any better.
No.
So I would certainly agree that excessive government intervention and excessive big pharma and big corporate intervention is bad for the progress of humanity. And these people are probably telling a story that it's great for the progress of, the new miracle drug and this and that.
Yeah.
So why have we lost control of ourselves? Why are we not keeping the government held to account? Why are we not resisting big pharma and big corporations?
I think there's two answers to that. One of them is greed, in that we have...
Because we want the iPhone, we need the
product.
Well,
there's that, but also we've let the whole situation snowball. Like BlackRock pretty much owns the world at this point because they're invested in every single major company. BlackRock, Vanguard, these companies, they've invested to a point where they own the world. Therefore, they have more power than pretty much every single government in the world. And we've let that situation snowball because we've not really put restrictions on businesses because we've been like, well, the free market has become an idol itself.
We've put a lot of restrictions on small businesses.
Indeed.
And none on the big few.
Big businesses lobby governments in order to get restrictions in place that they can jump through the loops.
So basically monopolies.
Exactly. Yeah. Monopolies are evil. We need to avoid monopolies. And at the same time, we are sheep. As people, we are sheep. That's scriptural. So we need good leaders. And when we have bad leaders, we get led astray. And our governments have become power thirsty. as people tend to be when they reach positions of power, and we haven't put restrictions in place on them either. So we haven't restricted business or our governments, and we've reached a point now where people don't want to think anymore. They want the government to handle all of their problems, to solve every situation. That's not what governments are for. Government should be small. It should be get out of the way to let you live your life. It should protect the borders of the nation. It should provide some kind of safety net for people that fall through the cracks. I'm not suggesting we need a welfare state, but some kind of safety net. And it should be very, very basic to prevent monopolies. That's pretty much it. Everything else is up to us as communities, but we've lost a sense of community.
So do you think we're moving closer towards some kind of revolution where in the end everyone wakes up to this and we've had enough?
That's quite optimistic. I don't think we are, no. I think we're seeing the West fall and crumble, and Western civilization is on the way out. I don't know what will come next, but I don't know if it's possible.
Is that bad? Western civilization.
Yeah,
the empire comes to an end.
Yeah, it's done.
It's done.
Yeah, we take it for granted that we'll always have this way of life that we're living right now.
Yeah.
With our nice cars and our money and with the way everything works. It's all on the way out. We've seen this, again, it comes down to people think that progress is linear and we're constantly getting better and becoming better people and progressing, evolving. That's nonsense. Societies are circular. They rise and they fall. Every single society has risen and fallen.
So could you say this is normal then, what's happening?
It is normal, but there are patterns that can be observed. Degeneracy, indecency.
Why don't we learn from
hypersexualization, all of this stuff. And
these things you've just said there.
Yeah, these are what we see when a society is falling apart.
So the manifestations of a part in the cycle of humanity.
Child sacrifice. I don't know if it's a cycle of humanity, but it's a cycle of civilizations.
Right.
We're seeing now what we saw in the fall of Rome, and we haven't learned this lesson. We never learned the lessons from history.
We don't. No. Why? It's there. We've got the evidence we need. Why don't we learn?
I don't know. I really don't know. Jordan Peterson often talks about this situation of how do we learn from World War II. I don't know if you've seen this clip.
No.
It's fantastic because he says, the lesson from World War II isn't the lesson we think it is. The lesson isn't that, Nazis evil, blah, blah, blah. Of course, Nazis were evil. The ideology was evil. But the people were just people, normal people. And we always think we'd be the one in the crowd standing like this when everyone else is doing the Heil Hitler. But of course, statistically, we'd be doing the Heil Hitler along with everyone else. That's the lesson we should take from World War II. That we would be going along with everyone else. Some people would be enjoying it even. And that's the lesson that he tries to teach us. But this is biblical. I take it even further back. We tend to think if Jesus Christ walked among us today, we would be bowing down at our knees, my Lord and Savior, thank you for coming to rescue us. Of course we wouldn't. We'd be saying, crucify him, just as they did at the time. That is the lesson of history. But we're so narcissistic and egotistical that we think we're better.
Hey, quick, before you go, if you want to watch the full, raw, uncut version of this episode in detail, no holds barred, you can watch it here. But before you go, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on.